All right, it is 7:30, so are you ready? All right. Good evening, folks. Welcome to tonight's meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals here in Clinton. The manner in which we conduct these meetings is as follows. The petitioner is named and called to the front here. The petition is read by a member of the board. The petitioner is granted the floor to provide details, present exhibits, and otherwise state the argument on his own behalf. Discussion will be opened up to members of the public. All questions and comments we ask to be directed through the board, and keeping one conversation at a time. The board will discuss and cast a vote as needed. Any questions before we get started? Good. All right, first up, Dean Checkman?
Yeah.
All right, and Dean, you're a customer of mine, and so I have to recuse myself from this petition and hearing, but we still have a full board, so we can take a full vote. But please have a seat, and Chris, would you mind reading it into the petition into the minutes?
Pursuant to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 48, Section 11, notice is hereby given that the Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing Tuesday, June 10, 2025, at 7:30 p.m. at the Clinton Town Hall, 242 Church Street, second floor, conference room, Clinton, Massachusetts, regarding an application from Dean Checkman?
Yeah, that's right.
Checkman, okay. 89 Ewald Avenue, Marlborough, Mass. 01752, seeking a variance under Section 5361 of the Clinton zoning bylaws, asking for attached sign bigger than 32 square feet of property located at 521 Main Street, Clinton, Mass. 01510. The parcel can be further identified on Assessor's Map 1, Parcel 3324. Interested parties may review copies of the petition and accompanying plans and documents at the town clerk's office during regular hours. Any person wishing to be heard should be present in person at said time before the board.
Thank you, Chris. All right, so at this point, any questions or comments, please direct through Mr. O'Donnell, and I'm just going to leave myself out of this equation. Please proceed.
All right, so my name is Dean Checkman. I'm representing O'Malley's Auto and Gas down at 521 and 531 Main Street. We just finished up the building, auto repair building at 521. I know the zoning is only 32 square feet for the sign, but because the building is big, and if we put the 32 square foot sign in there, nobody will be able to see that sign. So we're asking for the variance. Given the Dunkin' Donuts and the gas station that both have really prominent signing, if I put a 32 square foot sign on that big building, it won't even be noticeable. So we're asking for a variance of 68 square foot. And it's externally lighted, it's not internal lighting it like that. Simple sign that says O'Malley's Auto Repair, but it's a little more bigger than we would. So that's the only thing we ask for.
Where is it going to be located on the building? On the front side? Or
On the front of the building, there are three bays on the building.
Yep.
There's a picture that
Did a nice job on that building.
Thank you.
Very nice.
First, it'll be on top of the first and second bay. I submitted some pictures that shows where it would be.
Okay.
It'll be 2.5 by 40. That'll be exactly 100 square feet.
So do you know of the criteria for variance?
So it's 68 square feet more.
So I'm just saying, for variance, so you're applying for variance, so in order for us to grant a variance, we just have to have something from you that, you need the sign owing to either the soil shape topography of the land or structure, which probably is more relevant here, that you'd have a hardship if we weren't to grant this variance. It sounds like the hardship is, you're saying that,
People will not be able to see it.
See the sign.
If you look at, everybody knows the Dunkin' Donuts and the gas station side, their signs are really prominent, they look really good. And if you look at the buildings and right in between, if I put that little sign, nobody would see it, and it'll be really,
do you know about, I'm looking at the drawing rendition, if you were to go with the 32 square foot, do you know about what
30
size that,
32
do you know what that
square
would look like in your drawing by any
yeah,
chance?
so if you look at, it'll be exactly 1/3 of, it'll cover the only half, a little over half of the first bay. So it'll be very, very small compared to what the building is look like.
Okay.
And it really will be, people won't be able to see the sign, and I really want to represent what we're doing in there.
Okay.
Chris, excuse me for 1 second. I'm looking at the guidelines, and I don't think this is our thing. I think this is planning board.
Oh.
If you look at 5370, which is the guidelines, the next section, it says any variation from these is a planning board special permit.
No, because it's not internally, my understanding is, sorry.
No, I'm saying is
It's
that we're not allowed, I don't think we're allowed to rule on sign
Have you
sizes.
talked to the planning board?
They directed me to you.
Yeah.
They did, okay. Did they make a finding?
No, they didn't, because of the size, the restriction is 32 square
Right.
feet, they pointed me to you, because it's an externally lit sign. If it was internal, then I would have gone to the planning board.
Right, well, I'm just saying is that our bylaws for anything that's larger than that size is, they say is a planning board special permit according to the zoning bylaw.
They sent them here.
Yeah.
Unless, would that just be for things under 5370, or would that include the things under 5360?
Well, I think 5300 is the sign section. Oh, well, 5300 is signs.
Sign requirements, okay. And Jim, Mr. Sam, the building inspector? He did-
Correct, because when I was submitting, and Mr. Salmon and
Let's see, okay, let's see. Like Alan said, we want to make sure you are in the right spot. Let me just take a look if it
Unless we
says.
want to do is give you a ruling and then find out that we're not supposed to be giving you a ruling.
Let's see if we have anything under signs, so. Signs for. These guys. I'm just wondering, Alan, if, so you're getting that from 5370?
Yeah, like I said, these guidelines are not mandatory, but compliance with them shall be considered by the planning board upon special permits. And then the next section is any increase above the basic maximum for the size and number of signs.
Should we just, Okay, so let's see. Attached, so this would be the town sign, attached wall, let's see.
Speed of vehicle travel, yeah, speed,
Smaller.
vehicle travel. You'll be able to see this thing.
See right here. Planning board, acting special permits.
Compliance with them should be
something here.
considered by the planning board and acting upon special permits authorized under this section.
Right here, you align the site, wipes out half the site.
Yeah, well, what do you think about, this is a little confusing, yeah, these guidelines are not mandatory, the degree of compliance should be considered by the planning board and acting upon special permits authorized under this section.
And then 5380, the planning board is the next section down, can give a waiver during the site plan review. Because I wouldn't typically think a sign size would be a variance thing.
Yeah, although we did have the sign size for the Main Street project.
Right.
But granted, I'm not sure if that was also correctly, although that was also.
It was a big sign.
Yeah, it's a big sign, I forget if that
Right.
was a formal or if we actually.
Right. Yeah, that was a big sign.
There's a chance that this could be approved by the planning board. During a site plan review, the planning board, so did you already do a site plan review? Would that be?
I didn't see, for the sign itself, obviously, the planning board reviewed and approved the building, that's how we
Right.
moved forward.
So you didn't have the sign on the original
No,
site plan
there
review?
wasn't, because
Brand new building.
they said, let's visit that later on.
Right.
But then, because of the variance, they pointed me to you,
Right.
Jim and everybody else.
Because, yeah, like Alan said, under 5380, it says during a site plan review, the planning board can authorize signs larger than otherwise set forth within. Which I almost feel if we, maybe it's better here on the side of having a planning board, just, I mean, from that language, if they can authorize signs larger than here, you probably want to see them first, because if we were to tell you, A, if we were to tell you no, then, you know, we'd be robbing you potentially of that opportunity, and B, we might not be in a
Right, so,
jurisdiction to tell you that.
so what I'm hearing is you cannot rule.
It,
What's the possibility if I go see planning board and then say, oh, have them rule first, then go back to.
Right.
yeah,
So what, can you give me some kind of ruling? At least I can go and say, okay.
well, we don't know if we can, that's the issue here. Based on the language here, did Jim say?
Yeah, they sent me to you.
Okay.
Otherwise, we would have gone.
Right.
and
So
sent
did
the
Jim
planning.
send it you to us, or was the planning board that sent you to us?
No, when I was filling out the paperwork.
For your
The
application?
administrative office and Jim,
Yep.
they guided me and they told me that I need to come in front of you.
So the only thing I can think of would be if the planning board, so my understanding would probably be if the planning board did not,
The planning board, the planning board said if the sign is internally lit, then I had to go see that. But because it's not, it doesn't have internal lighting, it's gonna have external lighting, then I have to come to you for variance. Otherwise, it would have been planning.
Right.
it does say, yeah, during site plan review, planning board may authorize signs larger than otherwise set forth. So that, I mean, it makes me think that you would only come before us if they didn't authorize it.
Yeah, no, my understanding was because it's an external lit sign and it's not internally, they said if it was internally, then I had to go to planning board, but because it's not, it's a size matter, then I come in front of you.
I mean, the language right there, may authorize signs larger than otherwise set forth herein. Herein would be 5361 saying that a sign can't be bigger than 32 square feet. Which is unfortunate for you that, you know, I got to run around. I mean, the only thing I can tell you is, you don't have to pay any extra fees or anything like that. We can get you, I'm sure Boris can get you on here next month if need be, that way. I wouldn't want to deprive you of a chance to see the planning board. They might be able to just grant this to you. The planning board has much more say than we do. They write the bylaws, we just enforce them, but, I'm really not sure. So I would say it'd be better.
So according to 53, what's the,
So,
5370,
5370?
yeah, which is the next section after yours.
yeah, so basically, you're here right now under 5361, saying you can't build a sign more than 36, or 32 square feet rather. And then under 5380, the next page in the bylaws, it says during a site plan review, the planning board by waiver may authorize signs larger than otherwise set forth.
Correct, but we did not review a sign at all, we just did building when it
Okay.
was planning board.
I don't know how strict that language is. now
Because
that you're
that's
past
why,
the-
because I was thinking ahead a little bit,
Yeah,
that the sign could be a little bigger, and there was that 32 square foot issue, so that's
Okay.
why,
So
that's why I didn't go in front of planning board when I was building the site.
so I would say there's a chance the planning board could interpret this very strictly and say the bylaw says during a site plan review, you're already past that phase, therefore 5380 wouldn't apply, they would have no more authority to grant it to you, you'd have to come before us. But since they haven't told you that yet, they could also interpret this as, hey, we'll take a look at it again. I don't know, I'm not sure how they'll treat this, it could go one of two ways. But if I were you, I think it's better to see.
Well, I
them.
understand that, but, so,
And we couldn't make a ruling right now because we don't know. We
correct, but the possibility is that I go in front of the planning board and
They might
they're
immediately
gonna
tell you,
send me back right
they
here.
might
That
say, hey,
means I'm losing.
bylaw says during site plan review, site plan review is passed, you've got to go to the zoning board.
Then I'm back to square one.
Then you're back to
losing
square
2
one,
months,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, it's not the most ideal situation, but, and variances are difficult, so I mean, if I'm you, if you have potential 2 bites at the apple here, why wouldn't you wanna take it? Because if this was just a special permit, it'd be much more easily obtainable. This is a variance, which I'm not saying yes or no, but it's difficult. If I were you, I would, I think you should anyways, we're not sure as the board whether or not we can even make a ruling here. We probably could, but I think you're much better off going to see them. This is all makes, I know it's confusing for us too.
I'm just trying to think ahead, and I think I'm probably gonna end up before you again.
You very well may, and I mean,
Just keep in mind, special permits are much easier to get than a variance.
I understand, I appreciate that.
we don't control every lever of town government, unfortunately. I wish there was a way you could have just, you're the average person, I wouldn't even know what to look for in here, so how are you supposed to know, hey, actually, there's this potential waiver, but, so to be clear, you'd want to talk to, and you can talk to Lourdes too, but you'll want to talk to Jim or whoever now is building, this commissioner, inspector, and just say, hey, they're, we went to the planning, zoning board, they told us about this potential 5380 waiver, so I want to see if the planning board would be willing to address that. And the nice thing for you though, if they do, and they grant it to you right there, you don't have to come before us again.
Perfect.
You wouldn't need a variance, you wouldn't need a vote, you wouldn't, so.
Thank you.
So we will just have to make a motion to just, to wait this till next month, or, if that's what we do. So basically we continue this without prejudice meeting,
Okay.
which I imagine we will, since it's no fault of your own. So we'll make the motions, we'll make the vote, talk to Horace, and, I think, I apologize for you as a member of the town that you have to go through this. You're doing a great business down there, but, does anyone want to make a motion to continue this, without
Yeah,
prejudice?
we'll make a motion to continue the application for 521 Main Street till next meeting.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Unanimous.
Thank you.
Good luck, hopefully,
Thanks.
hopefully it resolves.
All right, good work.
Now, great catch on that.
Nice catch, yeah.
Seems like every so often we get these that are come to us and we're like, yeah, no, not us.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm curious to see how they'll address that.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Good catch. I would have never saw that.
What's on the thing for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Should open this up now.
What's the next one?
This is the one he wants to open that body shop and that one.
Oh, yeah.
So we just gotta get a special permit to do that. Let's do that.
Let's approve that.
I'll redo it for you, no worry. If you need another list, just let me know, I'll come by, I'll take care of it.
I'll make the motion to get this approved. Because I know this guy that's representing us.
Yeah.
Do you know Fabio from the bank?
No.
Nice guy.
All right.
Just a nice guy.
All right, next on our agenda is a special permit. Eduardo Berton. Come on up.
How you guys doing this evening?
1042 Main Street, yes? How you doing? All right, Chris, would you mind reading this into the minutes?
Pursuant to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 48, Section 11, notice is hereby given that the zoning board of appeals will hold a public hearing Tuesday, June 10, 2025, at 7:30 p.m. at the Clinton Town Hall, 242 Church Street, Clinton, Massachusetts, regarding application from Eduardo Berton, 134 Beacon Street, Clinton, Mass. 01510, requesting a special permit under Section 9300 and 3130 C14 of the Clinton zoning bylaws for property located at 1042 Main Street, Clinton, Mass. 01510, to open a body workshop, auto body. The parcel can be further identified in Assessor's Map 52, parcel 624, this and 6240. Interested parties may review copies of the petition and accompanying plans and documents in the town clerk's office during regular hours. Any person wishing to be heard should be present in person at said time before the board.
Thank you, Chris. All right. Eric, how you doing?
I'm wonderful.
All right, good to see you. Please, go ahead, proceed.
So the last time we were in front of you guys, I don't think we had an issue with anything, except the question was, with the size of the spray booth he was gonna put in there, would there be enough width for the egress to get back to the electrical? And it's 36 inches, and we actually have 46. So that, it's a moot issue at this point, and I didn't expect him to get professional plans, but he did. So if you guys wanna look at them, I can,
Sure. Please.
And I want to see, one of them shows me, if you want to see it, I can find it in here, but it actually shows on this side here, where it's 46 inches to get back here.
So this is the spray booth inside here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah.
It's plenty of room in the front to do the work, and then plenty of room for the egress to get back to the electrical panel.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
I'm just gonna refresh my memory on all of this. Oh, it's back this way. Yeah. All right. Are there any questions from the board at this point? Is there anybody here from the public that would wish to ask a question or speak on this petition? Anybody? Nope. All right. I don't have any questions on this. Nobody else does either. Would someone like to make a motion for this? Go ahead, Walter.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the request for a special permit for the 130, for the zoning board, property located at 1042 Main Street, Clinton, Mass., to open up a body workshop.
All right, we have a motion. Can we get a
Second.
second?
Second.
Thank you, Alan. Any other discussion? No? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Opposed? None. So unanimously, you got it, the special permit.
What do we do next?
So it's going to go to the clerk for 20 days. Give me a couple days to write the decision, but it'll be there. Then it'll get posted to to Worcester. But so in the meantime, technically you can do stuff.
We can set it up, we just can't do the
Yes.
work.
But, well, you can do whatever you want, but if someone were to appeal it, and that appeal came back to us, and for whatever reason it failed, to go further, then that's the risk you take, so
But there should be.
I can't
I'm
say.
not gonna hold you to it, but.
I can't say one way or the other. I'm just saying, there's a 20-day period of which somebody can appeal it. After
Okay.
that, it's through.
Okay, perfect.
All
Thank you
right.
very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Tell you a story on this guy. Whatever it happened to be at the time.
All right. Next on the agenda, we have an informal meeting, Norman Brown. Okay, hi Norman. Good evening. All right, and you're looking, the address is 50 Willow Street, and you're planning to make a deck?
Yes,
Okay, and why do you believe you need a variance?
I need a variance because in talking to the building instructor, that location requires that it can be no more than 10 feet from the property line.
Okay,
Current deck right now, do you mind if I give you some copies of the?
come on.
Apologize, no, I'm saying, several copies, enough for everyone.
Okay,
The reason that I want to keep the deck the same size, the deck right now is a 30 by 12. Keeping the deck the same size, the stairs that are on the left side of the deck are the main set of stairs that the traffic goes in and out of the house. Keeping the stairs that size would also mean that when appliances and furniture and objects that are very large could go up that deck and into the house with no problem. So pretty much the deck is 3 feet over the line right now where it should be. And the current homeowner, Pat Clark, I wrote a name there, Pat Clark, would like to keep it that size because, again, with all the traffic that comes through the house, all that traffic comes up those stairs. I did have a chance to ask her to talk to her abutter, which is the person at Lot 13, if he would be okay with that. And he has no problem with that at all. Currently, right now, the deck is, according to what the building inspector tells me, it's out of code because it should be no more than 10 feet. It should be 10 feet from that line, according to where that street right there. So if I can get a zoning variance that allows me to put the same size deck back up, that would help her in terms of being able to take furniture, traffic, everything that goes into that house.
How long has the deck been there?
I'm gonna tell you, I can only speak to 17 years. She's been there 17 years. Prior to moving there, the deck was there.
So there's an existing deck there now.
Pardon me?
There's an existing deck there now?
There's existing deck there right now.
How
You
big
know-
is the sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
How big is the existing deck?
30 by 12, 30,
That's-
30 feet wide, 12 feet up.
All right, and so what are you planning to put in place of that?
The same repair, we're going to replace the whole deck, but we want to keep it the same size.
Same footprint that you have now.
Same footprint.
I
that
don't
we
think
have
you
right
need
now.
anything.
Yeah,
Who,
because
just out of
existing-
curiosity, who
existing,
told
yeah.
you to come before us?
The building inspector.
Okay, did he give you any exact reason?
Just because you
why?
were closer than the 10?
Because we're closer than the 10.
But you're-
We're 3 feet into the 10.
But it's been a rent, but, okay, so,
And I asked the question, because the deck, because I can, gentlemen, the deck is, it's gone past expiration. I can show you some pictures. The deck has gone past expiration date. And I'm afraid to even walk on it, but because of the fact that it's been there that long, I can only speak to 17 years because she's been there 17 years, that it's, my thought here, sorry, it's extending over that, it's into the 10 feet by 3 feet.
All right, so you're not going to be increasing an existing nonconformity?
I'm not gonna go past I'm gonna stay with 30 by 12,
Yep.
yes.
so I think at the very least, you'd only need, I'd have to just read this, do a quick reading, since it's a
It's
pre-existing.
existing non-conforming.
I think at the very least, you just need a special permit. I don't think you need a variance, which is very good news for you.
Okay.
Let me just see.
It's good news that that the folks at Lot 13 are not opposed, but
No,
it
they're
doesn't
not.
really,
They're not.
that doesn't really affect the judgment that we can make.
You're correct, you're correct.
It's, but it's better than the alternative.
Yes, I agree with you.
All right, and so,
So I think 3650, I don't think it meets any of the 3651, 2, or 3, where the building inspector could just grant it to you, so I think it would go to where would be, in the event the building commission returns to the non-conforming nature would increase, which would just be the same. It's proposed reconstruction. I'm just trying to think, I think you would still need maybe a special permit. And all you need, by the way, if you had, so variance, very difficult, state criteria, we have almost no leeway, you have to meet very strict guidelines. But for you, since it's pre-existing, it looks like you just need at the most, a special permit. And that would be granted, as long as the reconstruction of the porch would not be substantially more detrimental to the existing structure. Which the odds, I can't tell you, of course. Now, the odds of a reconstructing the porch being substantially more detrimental, probably very low. So, which is some very good news for you. So,
yeah, so 3630
let's see.
versus 30,
Reconstruct, yeah, yep.
and 3640 is the variance required. That would mean if you were reconstructing it in a way that increases the nonconformity, you're not going to do that. So 3630 states that it's a non-conforming structure currently, and the Board of Appeals may issue a special permit to reconstruct, which is what you're doing,
Yeah,
a non-conforming structure in accordance with this section, only if it determines that that reconstruction shall not be substantially more detrimental than the existing non-conforming structure.
it will not, it's gonna be the same footprint.
So this is very good news for you. So that's,
So
if this were a variance and you were creating a new nonconformity, we would probably be telling you different things here that you probably would not want to hear as much. So, which we unfortunately do often have to tell people. So
So you will need a special permit, unless somebody sees something different.
That's what I said too, yeah, I think still special
agree with
permit, because it doesn't mean one of the exceptions, I think, would.
Okay.
So, since Clinton is not my hometown, where would I apply for the special permits?
This lovely lady right here next.
Downstairs. And it would be relating to bylaw 3630.
And I think Mortis you could get them on by next month so you could be on the next month meeting if you, did it all in time and everything. And,
Is it possible, based on next month meeting, to maybe start the deck by August, only because I'm trying to line things up, you think, brother?
you can start as soon as we grant it. And as the chairman said for the next thing, if we do, I can't tell you whether or not we're going to grant it, of course, but then afterwards, there's a 20-day period where anyone could appeal.
Yes.
You're free to do whatever you want after we grant it, but you just have to be aware that if 19 days later, someone appeals it, and then the judge says, oh, the zoning board was wrong,
Right,
Tear it down,
permit's gone.
yeah.
Yep, so.
okay, very good, awesome. All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome very much. Here, do you want these back? Do you need these?
No, it'd be awesome.
See you next month.
All right, everybody's good right now? I'm not taking any notes for that one. The next informal is Steve and Maggie Bonazzoli. Hey, folks.
How you doing?
All right, how you doing?
Very good.
What's up? What are you doing?
Well, the first question I have, I might be dumb, am I in the right place? Is this the zoning board or the zoning board of appeals?
Zoning Board of Appeals.
Should I go to the zoning board first?
Well, we are the zoning board. Are you thinking planning board and zoning board? People
No.
often confuse the two.
No, that's just the title of the...
Yeah, we're the same exact thing. Yeah, it's technically the zoning board of appeals, we just colloquially are called the zoning board.
We live at 11 Shore Lane, Clinton, Mass. We've been there 25 years. I purchased the property next to us, and we plan on being there hopefully another 25 years. But we want to build, I have plans for a house and a garage, but I want to build them backwards. I want to build the garage first, then the house for our son. Want to have a place to put stuff while we take our time doing it. And I happened to talk to Bob a little about it, and I was telling him I want to build a garage that I guess Mr. Roseberry built, absolutely stunning over at Pleasant Street. I love it.
Thank you.
So that's the garage I want to build. And both neighbors on both sides, they have no objections to anything that I do because they know everything will end up beautiful, which I try to do a high standard of everything. So we're looking for a variance to build the garage first, house second. I have the plans for both of them here, and leave them with you.
Is that exactly what the building?
Sammy said I have to, he's my neighbor.
Okay.
He said, well, you gotta go get a variance to, if you wanna build the garage first. I go, I don't know why,
I didn't know
but
that.
anyway,
I didn't know that either.
Are they attached? Will they be attached?
no.
All right, so
Garage would be here,
that is
then the
a-
house and the garage
I
would be
think that's
different.
why you're here.
that's why.
Right.
So you can't have two primary buildings on a single lot, it's separate, you know what I mean? That there's some issues there, so,
No, that's what he told me. I supposedly the house is supposed to be first, then the garage. I just wanna do it backwards.
yep. And that's what I'm saying, is if the house is more important, but, I mean, you can do a detached garage after
Yeah.
you've got a
Yeah.
building, that wouldn't be.
Yeah, it's just
not like
considered an
a-
accessory structure.
Right.
Is it is it gonna be within 10 feet of the house?
Pretty close. I don't know the exact thing.
Okay, because 10 feet is that's the variance cutoff. So if you're, an accessory building attached to its principal building or within 10 feet should be considered an integral part of, and, is that the correct, accessory structure should be located, is it more than, because, all right, sorry about that.
And I
Under
would say, yeah.
4312, it says an accessory structure should not be located nearer than 10 feet from the principal building, and it must be at least 8 feet from the side and rear. So you'd have to be, so for your garage to not need a variance, it would have to be more than, it looks like, more than 10 feet away. Is that right? I'm not screwing this up here. So, 4312, accessory structures. Should not be located nearer than 10 feet from the principal residence. So it has to be more than 10 feet away.
Yeah, it'll be more than
It'll
10
be more than
feet.
10, okay. And it can't be more than 15 feet high. And the 15 feet is kind of, a little math is involved that would go over my head, but it's 15 feet higher than the average grade level around the structure.
Is it flat, is it a flat lot or is there a hill?
It's almost flat. I took most of the gravel out of it.
Okay.
And, yeah, it's pretty, I mean, it's pretty flat.
Would it be more than 15 feet you're looking for, or 15 feet?
For the garage.
15 feet.
Okay.
Tall.
Height. 15 feet's the maximum height without requiring a variance.
Yeah, no, I mean, 15 feet's pretty high, right?
Yeah.
How high is that you built?
I'm not sure, probably, from the backside, it's probably under 15, because it's based on the average.
I mean, that's pretty, I mean, I love the thing. I think you did an outstanding job, the whole property. I'm not trying to buddy up unless it's working. But no,
Correct, you did a nice job.
It's, yeah, beautiful, the whole thing. That's kind of, that's what I want to build. Nothing extravagant or anything.
All right, so you'll have 15 feet or lower for
Yeah.
that, for the garage. I still don't know why there has to be an order in which you do it. Did they tell you why that? I haven't heard.
Sammy just told me, goes, oh, I think you gotta get a variance. And I go, really?
Is it gonna be close to
Check it,
any
3220,
of your
Chris.
boundaries or?
No. And both neighbors on both sides.
No, that's non-residential.
For it, 100%.
Okay.
That's
Again,
that's non-residential.
That's good, it's helpful for you in terms of any kind of an appeal, but it won't help the decision very much. But it's better than the alternative, like I told you the last gentleman. I don't know.
Would you be able to, you got step one, step two, right? You got a house and then you got a garage.
Usually.
Usually. There's nothing to say that you had finished the garage before the house was finished. So that one and two
Right, in other
are
words,
interchangeable, basically.
you leave some stuff not finished, and I'm not done with it yet. That's good thinking, but I still don't recall ever hearing anything about
Either way.
the
that you couldn't build a
need to
garage.
build one
Yeah.
before the other.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
Doris, have you heard anything like this? How about you, Dimitri? Have you?
Almost sounds like if anything, it'd be planning board to tell them what order. I can't imagine. I've never heard of such a thing, so
Yeah, I want to build a place, put my tools in it before I build the house.
Yep. And Jim didn't give you any further guidance though on, he probably said a lot of things. Trust me, I know most of the stuff probably doesn't make sense when you're, even, it's complicated even for us, but, so we're just trying to get to the bottom of basically, because the two things, like we said, is if you were within 10 feet, if you want to be more than 15 feet, makes sense, you come here, variance, very difficult to get, but you're saying more than 10 feet, you're saying less than 15, so we don't know when you need to come here.
So good thing I came informally, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I go back to Sammy and talk to him and say, just give me a permit, right?
Unless there's something we're missing, which is always possible too. But, I mean, none of us, I've never, like we said, never heard of, I don't remember ever seeing anything in the bylaw too saying the order of operations.
Sam is gone, he's no longer there, is he?
No, he's gone.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess you wouldn't know what the principal place is, but I would assume just having a site plan and.
show them the plans, and say, this is what we're gonna do, we're gonna build this one first, and then after that, we're gonna build the home. And then if he says
Makes sense to me.
that you need a variance or a special permit for that, he would then tell you, or certainly you would ask, if he didn't, which bylaw you were appealing to us for.
And maybe he was thinking something else. I mean, if you guys don't see a bylaw, then there can't be a bylaw, right?
That's not necessarily true, there's, we
There's a
don't
lot
know
here.
them all.
4110, it's a planning board thing, but not more than one principal structure, so. if in
That's the one
theory-
I was talking about, but it's not, it's an accessory structure.
So,
If you were building, you can't build two homes, for example, on the lot here in Clinton. So if it was like two of them, then I was like, you don't want to build that one first, because then you need a variance to build the home. And you may not get it, it's tough to get a variance. So it'd be like, oh, now what? We built a garage on the lot instead of the other way around. But this is not, that's not the case. This is an accessory structure. It's a garage. And you see them all over the place. People do it all the time, so. Yeah, I would ask him, Salmon, what he's citing in the bylaws that makes it such that you need a variance or there's a need to build one before the other without a variance or something.
Excellent.
All right?
Yeah, that was easy.
Hopefully, I mean, I hate to have you go out there and then Jim finds something.
I'd have to come back next month anyway, to have a vote anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm glad I came informally.
And we'll just tell you,
Any advice, Bob?
we'll just tell you like we said, if it is less than 10 feet away or more than 15 feet in height, it is, just so you're aware, you
Yeah.
require variance, which
It won't be,
it's very difficult to get. So I just want you to be aware of
it
that.
won't be, so.
Okay,
It
not
won't
saying
be
you wouldn't
far.
get, but just letting you know, it's a lot of strict standards to get that, so.
I appreciate that.
All right.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Good
Bill.
luck.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so, I'd be interested to find out what's that.
I don't think I've done it. Thought of asking. I think I would just submit my house plans at the same time. Here's my house plan permit, here's my garage permit.
Yep.
Issued permit, and I'm just choosing to build this one first.
Right. Yeah, because and that's why my first thought was, you better build the home first.
Yeah.
Because you won't possibly get variance, and now you're stuck with the garage.
Unless his new garage is under his new accessory dwelling unit, which are now allowed everywhere.
Right. That's very true.
Maybe you're just making assumptions, there would be like an ADU in the garage or whatever.
Yeah.
And so therefore, to be on the safe side, get a variance, but just don't finish it, don't.
Yeah. Build it, put your stuff in it,
Yeah.
get your house permit.
Are you guys familiar with 11 Shore Lane?
It's on the water, I know that.
Is there anything unique about it, or?
No, that's,
It'll be a tough one.
So it better not be a variance.
Yeah, which hopefully, again, we couldn't say for sure, but hopefully, it'd be tough, I think, based on.
All right, I did read the minutes. Oh, okay, great, yes. It's Maurizio? Yes. How are you? So, I don't know, is everybody aware?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Mauricio is interested in, now, it's not our decision, Maurizio. Sure. But I wanted you to come by, see what's going on.
Absolutely, then you guys see who I am,
Yeah.
you know.
Exactly. And then we can, and so it is the select board, the board of selectmen that makes the appointment.
Wonderful.
All right, so, you're going to want, I guess what, he'll go interview with them or something like that, but in the meantime, we can say, hey, Maurizio seems like a good fit for the team here, why don't you, he gets our recommendation, or whatever, but I first wanted to, before I made any comments like that.
Any questions for me or vice versa?
Yes, you live here in Clinton?
Yeah, I've been living here 15 years.
Yeah.
It's quite a nice town, it's relaxing, I came from Waltham. I originally was born, raised in Italy, my whole family lives in the Waltham, Boston area. But I've been living here 15 years with my beautiful wife, we love Clinton, I want to be part of the board to help out the town. I've been building construction, cabinet making, I have an associate's degree in it, and I've been building for 20 years, and kind of love to be kind of a help if I can be, and also learn at the same time.
And the time, it's not a crazy amount of time. It's one Tuesday a month, and not always. Sometimes, like we went for a stretch of about 4 months.
Yeah, winter time can get
It
slow.
was like 3 or 4 months where there was nothing on the
Awesome.
agenda.
That's my vacation time.
Yeah.
I usually take off in January anyway. I can't go anywhere else. My birthday's January 2nd, so nobody wants to do anything. So I usually take off at that time.
So it's not a crazy commitment, but, it would definitely be helpful to us. Demetrio just started with us a little while ago, and it's a relief because you were here earlier.
Yes.
And so I I had to recuse myself for that first one,
Right.
because he's a client of mine at my business, at my work, and so that's a conflict.
Yes.
So to have to meet you here, to be able to
Helpful.
vote
Right.
and so forth, so we have a
Right.
full board, that matters. And then there are other times, of course, when someone's away, on vacation or sick or whatever, we could use the help. So
Absolutely.
having one more on board would be terrific. What do you guys have for questions? Anything?
That's it, you wanna be here to help, just be aware, a lot of, people who come would probably find us to be more of a hindrance than a help.
It's all right.
We like to think of ourselves as hopefully helping,
I think y'all are a great group of guys. I've been there a few times, and you guys have always been helpful. Apart from the planning board, sometimes they try to be a bit stricter, but you guys have been more helpful as much as I've seen, and I like to be a part of that.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, and like Chris said, there have been times when the room is full.
Oh, yeah.
And there's something that we feel probably ought to be granted, and there's a lot of people who don't agree. And then, of course, the alternative, when there's one person and he
Right.
wants it, he thinks he should get it. And the tough thing is, there are times when it feels like you should say yes, because it's the right thing to do, it's a noble thing, it's a good thing for the community, whatever, but the law says no.
Right, you gotta follow the bylaws and what the bylaw says, and then go off of that.
Finally,
Yeah,
such a
just
bookie.
kind of
Yeah.
put your feelings aside and do what the code says. Yeah,
That's
I've been doing
it.
it for 20 years, I've been building 20 years, so I have to follow the code.
Yeah.
I have an unrestricted CSL, so I totally understand.
Right, yeah, and last month, we had, I said, it was variance night. Everybody was in for, we had like six applications for a
Yeah.
variance.
And they were all no.
A couple of informals.
Yeah, I think we all went home a little exhausted, and
Yeah.
we didn't have the happiest, we had to tell a lot of people that what they wanted to do with their property was probably was not gonna be approved, or B, had a high likelihood of not getting approved. Not because any of us individually thought they were bad ideas, but like Tim said, we had to follow the law.
Yeah, to be frank, there was a couple that looked like it was, if it were just me, and I didn't have to go by a law, I said, sure, cool, yeah, looks good. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice addition to your home and the
Yeah.
neighborhood, it's gonna fit right in, everything is great, go for it. But it was against the law.
Right.
Had to say no, so, and that's our job, so as long
It
as you're
is.
not too uncomfortable doing that.
No, definitely not. I'm definitely not too uncomfortable to,
All right.
Tell someone respectfully how the code is.
Yeah. All right, and the commitment's not too much for you, and.
No, I think it's fine. I live off Chestnut Street, so I own two properties, one in Lancaster, one in Clinton. I live off of Chestnut Street,
Yeah.
8082 Chestnut. You guys approved the 3 to go to 4 units. I was doing it for 3 years with the planning board, back and forth. I'm the guy with the nice deck. on
Okay.
that road. It's the only way to explain it. Going down, it's the third house on the right. Everybody else put up all these posts, and I decided to just put 4 posts and a beautiful beam, and decided to do all that. 100-year-old deck came all apart on me, and decided to renovate it. And then next thing you know was the fans, and that's where I met my wife. So we wanted to kind of make it as nice as we could, so to speak.
Excellent.
And we
That
never
looks
stopped
good, looks
from there.
very good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that whole street is definitely cleaning up.
Yeah.
All the way down the hill.
Yeah.
The last
Yeah.
one is really,
Yeah.
and they kept the size of, the look of
And now you know why I couldn't really approach you guys earlier. I was going through that. I was thinking
Right.
about it. The Nora was bothering me for like the last 2 years. It's, go, and I'm like, no, I cannot. I gotta deal with this
Yeah.
Chestnut Street home, and then
Right.
I'll apply.
Then start volunteering.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
didn't want to show that I was trying to volunteer and try to get something out of it. I just wanted to
Oh,
volunteer.
right, a little conflict there,
Right,
yeah, yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
yeah.
I hear you. Yeah, we gotta be careful of that too, for sure.
Yeah, you do, it's, you got about being honest and doing the right thing. And,
Yeah.
I
Well,
totally
if you're
understand.
still building in town, because there's actually been instances where I've actually had to leave this seat and go in that seat and make a presentation to
We
this
grilled
board.
that one pretty good
Oh,
that time.
yeah, they worked me hard.
Okay, well, I'll make sure if I
We
give
voted
some.
them down we voted them down 4 times.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Keep coming
All
back,
right.
and I'm like.
But you said yes on the 5th time?
Yeah, after I was like, pounding my fist,
it.
and, begging for mercy, they said, all right, fine. You proved
That's
your point.
awesome.
I'll make sure I'll try a different route
Yeah.
next time.
Hire an attorney to do it for you. That's what I should have done.
I usually do every
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
but, you know, maybe next time I won't,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, so, do you want to join the board more or less than when you came in? a
No, I'm
few minutes
totally
ago?
fine. I like
More?
you guys since I started
All
this
right.
board. I've been here more than once. No.
All right.
But today was an easier night, you know, last
I
month, we had
noticed
someone
that.
walk out on us and, you know, again, not always.
Yeah, we were
happy
crossed
campers.
off the Christmas card list last month.
Oh, well, I will put in a good word for you.
Sure, appreciate that. Thank you, guys.
Well, like I said, it rounds out the board. We look for 6. We wanted 6, and
Yeah, yeah.
we got 5 right now with Dimitro and.
How long did we go with short, what, 2 years almost?
Yeah, I'm sure for a while.
Yeah, for 2 years, it was just the 5 of us.
And it helps too, we're still learning a lot of stuff on the go, and the
Oh,
longer you
all
do
the
it over time, the more
Yeah.
you're gonna get used to things, and
So I speak 3 languages, so I
That's
have a
good,
hard
yeah.
time sometimes even reading my own code book, but I find it very interesting. I really like fell in love with the code and everything, and trying to figure it all out and what it actually means, and so I really appreciate it. I try to learn as much as I can, but yeah, our code books are like this.
Yeah.
The stretch energy code, the commercial code, the residential code, and try to do a test, and you have, what, 2.5 minutes a question? Or so, or less?
72.
And there's 300 questions to pass. That's good. That's fun.
That is fun for you. I
Well, I
guess.
took it 20 years ago, now it's got even harder.
Yeah, I know. You don't absorb it as good anymore.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You gotta read it 3 times before it sinks in.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely, all the time, you gotta keep reading it. Yeah.
Yeah,
The language just gets to you, you're like, oh, go one page, go to another page.
yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely know.
And even more challenging for you because this is English is your 3rd language?
Italian is my first,
Yeah.
and Spanish, then English. 'Cause when I came here from Italy, I had to learn English, so most of them were Spanish, I'd have to ask him what the lady was saying, and he would tell me in Spanish, I understand it faster. So I learned Spanish faster than I did English, and then it took from there, I kind of fell in love with Spanish language, that's why my wife's Ecuadorian, and that was it.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, but I speak 3 languages, full Italian, I write it, speak it,
Yeah,
Spanish, I don't write it, but I speak it, some Portuguese, and obviously English.
yeah.
I did 6 months in Salerno, I don't know if you're from anywhere.
Salerno, bellissimo, yeah, really nice.
Very,
Very nice.
very lucky.
Yeah, I'm from South Italy, Calabria, right behind
Oh,
Sicily.
yeah, okay, yep.
Nice place. Yeah, right at the beach.
A little different than Clinton. I miss it, sometimes I'll look at old pictures and say, oh,
I
I
know,
wish I was there.
when it comes summertime, I usually take off. It's usually Friday night, and I take my wife to Hampton Beach. I love it so much. You just go up there on the 3rd row of the restaurant and just sit there and look at the beach and relax.
nice.
Love the water, love the beach, yeah. Yeah, I miss it, but I like Clinton too. It's a nice quiet town versus living in Waltham where it's very noisy and
Yes.
there's a lot more going on, so to speak. It's more nicer to be on this quiet side.
Yeah, it's a nice little, it's like a city, except it's real small.
It is,
A lot
and
of
people
the-
know each other.
Yeah.
You go get a coffee, everyone knows you. It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's
Absolutely.
good. Thank you so much for taking your
Welcome.
time to come over here.
You're welcome, appreciate that.
And like I said, I'll put in a word. I think, I don't want to speak for the whole board, but I'll certainly speak for myself. And anyone else who wants to chime in, they can do so. But I'll put in a good word and we'll see what happens from there.
Thank you, guys, I appreciate it.
Okay.
You guys have
When
a
do you
good
think, when do you think you'd be, listen, and I'm just gonna be straight with you, okay? How long did it take them to put us on the board?
A bit.
Like, I think I asked and came in and these guys were, I think it was Rich, it's like 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even think some of us are officially on the board at the moment.
Well, I was here for 6 months before they approved my,
Jeez, okay.
Yeah.
Because they're staggered 5-year terms technically. So by law, you would join the board and you'd be on a stagger, and you could pick it up with 1 year left on the, we'll say, contract, 4 years, 5 years, and then in theory, it's up to the select board to say whether or not they want to renew. And they've never gotten rid of anyone,
Yeah.
to my knowledge. So,
No.
but
So if, I encourage you to continue to pursue it, if you don't hear back.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting at is, I didn't hear back and months would go by and I was like, gee, I'm still interested in helping the town out. you know, I know it's a volunteer position, but I need to be appointed. Who does this? What can I? And
Sure.
it didn't happen. It
I
didn't
think
happen.
between us all and Denora, we'll find out who's appointed. I'll go and find out. and say hi to
Okay.
them.
All right. I
I'm
encourage
in
you
this
to do
building
so.
a lot, I mean,
Yeah.
I take out permits all the time.
Yeah. All right.
We'll go see
When I
who's
went
involved.
and, when I applied to be the alternate, it was my impression that there was only one spot for alternate that was actually assigned. I don't know how this actually works, like, I'm brand new to this.
We had, I don't mean to interrupt, but we had somebody who was on, was it Jeff?
Jeff, yeah, because Jeff and I were alternates at the same time.
Yes.
When Richie was still here.
Yep. So Jeff Maxwell
Maxwell, yep, Jeff Maxwell, yep.
was listed as an alternate, but he no longer lived in town. It was, I don't know, 2 years?
Yeah, he
So-
came to like 2 meetings and we never saw him again.
And then he just, just stopped coming and then stopped, but he was still on,
Okay.
according
Yeah,
to,
there was two alternates at that time.
yeah, so there was only.
So
enough-
there is a possibility of two
Yeah.
alternates, yeah?
There are
Okay.
2 alternates, yep.
Yeah.
There is for sure. It's in the bylaw,
Oh, okay.
yep. So we do have room.
Unless you don't want me, I'll go.
Be the squeaky wheel.
All right.
Yeah, that's right. Very good.
Yeah.
Right.
And like you said, you're here often enough, so, yeah, rattle some cages, that's what.
All right, I'll go do that. I
All
just
right.
gotta get Denora going.
Yeah,
We're all set. All right, notice, I just gotta get her going.
Maurizio, thanks again.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
That's your stuff.
I did want to bring up, Tim, I did look up, we do have, it's state law, and we do actually have a bylaw, I forget what it's on hand, if it is you can't break up a lot to make it non-conforming, you can't break up a non-conforming lot. So-
One from last week?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
similar to last month,
Yeah.
just so we're all aware, it is state law, we
Yeah.
actually have a they actually do put in the bylaw.
Yeah.
So you can't create a new lot to make a new non-conformity, so.
Right, no, I think we were pretty confident. on
Yes,
that.
yeah, I was 99%, but I said, let me just make sure.
Do a little
yeah.
look
It's
in.
called infectious invalidity. That's the technical common law term.
Infectious
Infectious
invalidity.
invalidity. So you'd be infecting these new lots,
Yep.
and then making them also non-conforming.
Making
so,
them invalid.
Exactly, yeah. So weird term.
Yeah.
Irrelevant. It's funny if we use that exact language, but that is the law.
Well,
so.
I've always felt that if you do know the correct term, and it's like that, and you throw that out there, it puts a little weight behind your
That's true. Yeah.
decision,
Yep.
you
And I
know?
think I just.
Chris Sherlow, you could have made up something like in Latin. You said, oh, that's
Yeah.
habeas corpus de facto. Sorry.
Oh, well, since you put it that
Yeah.
way, okay, now I believe you, that's the thing.
Sounds official. Yep. So.
All right, well, that's good. I'm glad you did that research. I did look at the minutes, so there'll be a couple of edits. I wonder if she's got it here. These are the minutes from February, I think. So I did look at it, and there was just a couple. I'm not going to ink this up, but I'll tell. There was just one change. It's basically typos. Everything in here is as it happened. How about that? So so make a motion to accept the minutes as edited.
Make a motion to accept the minutes as edited.
Second the motion.
Okay, all in favor? All right,
Aye.
great. So I'll just ask her to make some edits. There's a comma, there's a comma after Alan instead of Alan Roseman. So we approve the minutes with edits. There's just a couple things I'll point out to you, and then that'll be that. Why don't you guys make a couple signatures on that? Where was it? Oh, this is, when, see that word? Strike it. Okay? It might have been, yeah, what we're talking about is using the term unfortunately.
Right.
Okay, certainly in a decision you wouldn't use it, but in the minutes, it's not so bad. So I was like, well, one way or the other. But is it unfortunate? For some people, maybe. For other people, maybe not. But from a fact perspective, leave it up. No reason to put unfortunate or unfortunately. If it was an unfortunate circumstance for that person, someone in the back might have said, good, not unfortunate. So we would strike that out. Then there was just another one, and this is next to nothing. There was a comma after Alan's name, which we shouldn't have. I forget where it was. It was in one of the, who voted and so forth.
Okay, so after Alan's name,
Yep.
strike that out, delete the comment.
Yeah,
Okay,
you'll find it.
I'll find it.
I forget where it was. It was in one, I think it was, was it? Well, it was probably when because we voted. These were informal, so I don't think, it's probably, yeah. There it is.
Okay, oh, sorry.
It's a dramatic pause after my name.
A dramatic pause.
Alan.
Put a dash there, a semicolon.
Yeah, dot, 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 dot.
But otherwise, excellent job on those. Thank you very much.